Welcome back to This Live, the Sunday talk show here on the Arise News channel. With me today, I have Professor David Aworawo, Professor of International Relations and Strategic Studies at the University of Lagos, and Jide Ologun, legal practitioner and national development advocate. Now, the recent resurgence in the frequency of partisan defections would seem to have added extra spice to preparations for Nigeria's next election cycle, starting from the governorship election in Anambra State later this year. Undoubtedly, the high point of this transfer of political allegiance took place this past week in Delta State, where Governor Sheriff Oberewori, his entire cabinet, all local government chairmen, and his predecessor in office, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, moved en masse from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Political commentators and indeed many stakeholders are asking, where is the principle in all of this? Are Nigerian politicians really building to the people, as should be the case, or they are only interested in protecting their own selfish interests? And is this trend not going to lead to an expedited slide into a one-party state situation in Nigeria? I'm now being joined here on This Live, the Sunday talk show, to discuss this matter by Mutalabi Ojo Adebayo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Mutalabi Adebayo, good evening, and thank you for joining us on This Live, the Sunday talk show.
Good evening, Dr. Abati. It's always a privilege being on your program. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, the question as phrased in the introduction is this. We've actually faced the threat of a one-party state. We have had, in Osun State, Honorable Wale Oke, jumping from PDP to APC. We have had members of the New Nigeria People's Party in Kano State, led by Senator Samaila Kawu of Kano South, also saying they are now in APC. The whole of the structure in Delta State, minus the people, I guess, minus the people, although Senator Okowa says the people are involved, they've also ported into the APC. And people are saying, look, what President Tinubu and his strategists are trying to do ahead of the 2027 general election is to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. He just spent 2 days in Katsina, where he was hobnobbing with the people of Katsina. We won't be surprised if tomorrow Governor Rada too says, I'm going with President Tinubu. Are we under siege democratically?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Abati. You see, Nigerians are fond of crying wolves where there's none. I don't see any issue in it. And let me correct one thing. Governor Rada of Katsina says it's already it's an APC governor, not a PDP. Oh, okay. So there's no point for him to jump the ship. But yes, but my point is this. Apart from being a lawyer, I'm a deep student of political science and constitutionalism. And I read a lot of books. I've read a lot of books, and I'm still reading. Look, we've forgotten where we are coming from. Under the First Republic, what we practiced in this country was cabinet system of government, or what we call parliamentary system of government. All the ministers, all the cabinet members, all the ministers, and the prime minister, the deputy prime minister, the opposition leader then, all of them were members of the parliament. They were voted in from their various constituencies. Unlike now, where the president, we need a vote of the entire country, 2/3, 25% in at least 2/3 of a geographical spread of the country. But one of the major factors that led to the collapse of the First Republic was that the basic underlying principle of that system of government was raped, nakedly raped, and violated and breached by politicians of that time. the cross-carpeting law. And that started from, you remember, from the western region before the wet here, when some people, due to the crisis in the action group, when some members of the action group opted out, some joined NCNC, some form what they call NDP, which some people can call demo, and a lot of that, as against the basic principle of parliamentary system of government, because cross-carpeting is not allowed. Then in 1979, when that republic collapsed, we were under military rule from 1966 up to 1979. Then we had constituent assembly. Those wise men who were assembled together to prepare the Second Republic Constitution. And again, 49 wise men, Chifawolo opted out and resigned. 49 wise men, led by Chief F.R. William, QC SN of Blessenbury, who later became the chairman, thought and deeply, having in their mind, on their background, what led to the collapse of the First Republic. And they opted for the presidential system of government. In the presidential system of government, I represent only my federal constituency alone. The senator will represent his senatorial constituency alone. But the governor will have to be voted by all the electorates in the state. But he must have geographical spread, just like the president. So, you are free under presidential government to jump ship, to move from one party A to party B to party. You can even jump and cross 1,000 times. But when we got to 1999, the wise men who gave us the 1999 Constitution, they now, when it was amended, they said, let's put a stop to this. And they said, the governor, the executive, the governor, deputy governor, the president, vice president, can jump ship. They can leave. And if you remember, Waziri Adamawa, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, was a sitting vice president under PDP when he contested under the AC ticket. And but then, Olusegun Obasanjo, being a dictator, on his own declared his seat vacant. Waziri Adamawa rose to Supreme Court. It was Supreme Court who saved him. And as at that time, if we've not forgotten, President Ahmed Tinubu took his battle, took Waziri Atiku's battle as his own. And they went to Supreme Court. That case was protected by Chief Adebayo, among other lawyers whom he led. And Supreme Court, in the landmark constitutional judgment, because it was a full decision, said, no, you cannot declare vacant the seat of an executive, being governor, deputy governor. That is not possible. Whether he cross carpet or not, you cannot. Because just like you, but it's because it is a joint ticket. Both of you are voted in together. But later, an amendment now came that if you join, but that the executive, the members of the parliament, House of Rep, Senate, State House Assembly, that they cannot cross carpet. They cannot leave or abandon the party upon which they were voted in, except there is a division in their party at the national level only. At the national level, not division at the state level. And that was what the mistake Abegunde made. And you remember the case of Federal Abegunde and is it INEC? He was voted in versus, on the platform of
Ondo State House of Assembly. Abegunde and
Ondo State
also
Assembly,
versus
in the Supreme Court. So he jumped ship, and unfortunately, out of it was that to add sort to injury, he was a person that even took Labour Party and to court, and Supreme Court said no, you are referring to division within Labour Party at the state level, not at the national level, and his seat was declared vacant.
Okay.
What are we now talking about?
Okay. Mutalabi Adebayo said. Now let me ask you to address this issue. Now, there are persons who have been on the morning show program, and they have said, look, within the purview of Section 68, again, 1G, and also Section 109, 1G, again, of the 1999 Constitution, that when lawmakers leave their parties, go to other parties, then they automatically leave their seats. But there has been this argument about whether, Section 109 is self-executory or not. But the big issue is that, okay, it's only the lawmakers that the Constitution talks about. That the Constitution is very silent on the issue of governors. So a governor can win an election on the platform of one party and just go away. And if he does not act like Abubakar Karimi did in 1983, there is nothing. What would you recommend? A constitutional amendment? Because these governors cannot just jump from one party to the other. People of conscience are saying that this is a violation of personal principle. This is opportunistic and also an abuse of their oath of office. What do you think?
Dr. Bati, you see, one of the recurring decimal we have, if among lawyers in this country, is that if you put 1,000 lawyer down to write an opinion, you are likely to have 1,000 opinions. Because we've lost our values. People turn laws upside down. And you see, with due respect, most social media lawyers, commentators on radios and television, on the media, they are not practicing lawyers, most of them. And I mean it with due sense of responsibility. I've just cited to you the Waziri Atiku Abubakar case. When he, as a sitting vice president in this country, he was elected under the PDP ticket, and he contested under the National Congress for Nigeria then. And it went to court. What are we now talking about? Are we now saying we should set aside or we should ignore that Supreme Court decision? So what type of principle? And again, people forgotten that we have in our constitution the freedom of association and freedom of assembly. Political parties, just like the Premiership or any other football team, you have free entry and free exit, provided you've not breached or violate any provision of the Constitution. And all they've done now, I've not seen anybody who has violated it. And back to your question, it is not self-executory. Look, what is the problem with all the political parties, including APC? Because during Jonathan era, some APC members also jumped ship and went to another political party. Even during President Muhammadu Buhari era, Senator Bukola Saraki and others, including Amin Tambuwa, also jumped ship and moved to another. But who are we to blame? You should blame, firstly, their members in the National Assembly or in the State Assembly. What they should do is to raise it as a matter of urgency that Mr. Speaker or the Senate President, what do we call it, distinguished senator A or House of Member B, who has left Party A for Party B, upon which was selected, you should declare this vacant. They may lose it because ruling party are always in majority. Then you go, if you lose it, then you go to court to challenge it, provided there is no division in the political party which they left to join the other. And if you remember, if you look at it now, are we saying we still have a living or healthy PDP in this country? Now PDP now has a tattered, a disorganized umbrella. PDP, like I said, is suffering from political hemorrhage and is bleeding to death unless some emergency, maybe we have life-saving ambulance that can convey that party and take it. PDP need blood transfusion as we are now. Otherwise, that party will bleed to death. And look, you are talking about principle. People talk about principle when it does not favor them. Have you forgotten that even Mr. Peter Obi, the camp, was originally an Abga member. Later, he moved to PDP. Later, he moved to now, I think it's Labour Party now. So, similarly, Waziri Atiku Abubakar started from PDP, back to AC, ACN, PDP again, APC, back to PDP, and now on his way to SDP. So they are now saying that now corruption principle. Which of them are principle? You see, the problem with us in this country, because you've asked me whether we should alter the constitution. This constitution has been altered several times. We have several alterations. Our problem is not with the constitution. You remember that book by William Shakespeare, Julius Caesar? He said, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our star, but in ourselves. But we are doing that. Look, let them give us the best of the constitution in the world. Being what we are going to make mess of the constitution. And whereas in a foreign country, if they have bad laws and they have good men operating those laws, the law will make good. Look at what President Trump is trying to do in the U.S. now. He's not been successful because the principle are principled. Yes, sir.
We had a guest on this, on the other program, the morning show. Sometimes I mix these things up. Now, where a guest, also a lawyer, was saying that the problem is the Supreme Court with the decision arrived at in the Rivers case. And that the Supreme Court oftentimes is always causing confusion. And there are other people who hold the view that judiciary is the problem. Yes, go ahead.
Dr. Abati, those lawyers, if you investigate them very well, I can say it that with all certainty, 90%, that they are not practice lawyer. When we were at the Presidential Tribunal, a lawyer was always in the media putting on bibs, like his own bib look like that of Bishop, and be posting, be quoting commentary. And I bet you, I can tell you, this man was never announced by any of the parties to the suit as cancer in the matter. Yes, he was the one running commentary, and that's Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, the former Nollywood man who now crossed over the camp to join us in the position. So those are not lawyers. Look, let me tell you.
No, Kenneth Okonkwo was called to the bar. He was called to the bar.
Wait,
although Afe Babalola said, look, we should separate solicitorship with litigation.
I said he was called to the bar.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not saying it was, I'm not saying what, I said he was called to the bar. I said he was running commentary, posting on Twitter, on social media, whereas he did not appear. His name was never announced, Friday of the party, as one of the council. Look what
please just be careful with this description of people about television lawyers. Even Femi Falana was called a television lawyer, and you know that he practices. He's not a television lawyer.
No, don't mind that little Yinka. And I told Mr. Falana, you don't dignify such a person with your response. Do you get my point? Who is Leroy Yinka? Please don't let us be distracted. Nigerian Supreme Court, I make bold to say, I'm a party lawyer. I don't sell land. I don't sell property. I practice law right from 1993 when I was caught on Jamba. And I've served in 16 law firms, starting with Bayard Koloko & Co. in Kaduna where I served. Later I joined Ilakunsi & Co. I was with Oludimi Nakedolu before I established a partnership with my partner, Kasim Baramasi, SCN. Look, I'm not boasting. Without being modest, I am a thoroughbred legal practitioner. And I won't miss what I won't. Nigerian Supreme Court, under the condition, under which that court is operating, it has even been applauded in the Commonwealth. It's one of the best Supreme Court in the country. How many Supreme Court of any nation deals with or is beset with cases in their docket with what the Nigerian Supreme Court has been deciding? The Nigerian Supreme Court has decided several landmark cases. You see, but the problem with our people is this. They don't understand the way procedure and litigation, the way procedure, evidence, and practice work. What they do is they rely on public opinion, they rely on beer parlor politics and gutter policies, or what they are. Whereas, what any court do when you have evidence and laws, married to that litigation, or when the case you presented before them are totally, in fact, Supreme Court even listen to frivolous cases that does not even, cases that they don't want it. When Honorable Justice Amina Ogi when she retired from the Supreme Court, during her valedictory service court sessions, she said there was time a matter came to Supreme Court over the ownership of a goat whose price was at 25,000 naira. And the Supreme Court had the case and determined it. Why must such matters come to Supreme Court? Nigerian Supreme Court is a very listening and patient court. Believe me, in the Commonwealth, and I'm a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, they applaud the Nigerian Supreme Court as being one of the best in the world. But it's unfortunate. Those that, yes, I'm here with you.
Yeah, I need to move
I'm
very
here
fast.
with you.
I don't want to go into judicial reform and all of that. That's not the focus of this conversation.
Very well, sir.
Now, but we mentioned the River State. In River State,
Yes.
the NBA, Nigerian Bar Association, in which you are very actively involved, we were told that they collected money and they should bring back the money since River State is no longer hosting the NBA conference for this year. I know there is all this concept about irrevocable gift, gift inter vivos, vivos, and all of that. Now, what would you advise? Should this matter go to court for the NBA to say, look, this is not just about AVME bus asking for money back, saying that there are conditions, and all of that, What will you advise the Nigerian Bar Association to do? Because this is a matter of public interest too. You've been talking about lawyers, television lawyers, lawyers who don't practice, the ones that are practicing are collecting money.
No, you may not practice. Lawyers, you don't have to practice law. You don't have to be litigation lawyers. We have different type of lawyers. I'm talking of lawyers who run commentary on what they know nothing or little about. You get my point? We have lawyers who don't go to court. Yes, they have the right not to go to court. At 60, I will stop going to court too. I'm just 4 years away from 60. Okay, on NBA issue, Dr. Abati, I'm a friend of the current president of the NBA president.
Afam Osigwe,
Masi Afam Osigwe, SAN. Yes, I can fast vote for him, I mobilized vote for him, and I supported him because I believe in him. But let me say this. I'm the chief mediator. I'm now the chief mediator, self-appointed mediator. And all the parties are aware on this matter between him and the River State government. And even also by the extension of Enugu State government. And the basis of that, I won't be able, because if I'm a mediator and I'm already prejudging the issue, so kindly pardon me, not to allow me to make any comment or hear about that. And although I have my opinion about it, but you see, we are very lucky during this regime. You know, people have talked about T-Pain, they've talked about so many things, but you see, my own concern, my constituency is the legal profession, and particularly the bar. Legal profession is made of two limbs, the bar and the bench. You know the luck that we have. We are privileged to have as Honorable Attorney and all the Federation of Justice, Prince Lateef Olasokemi Fagbemi, SAN. Believe me, we are lucky. And if not for the fact that Prince Lateef Fagbemi is the sitting Attorney General during this period, I don't know what, from 2023 when this government came in, it has been a lot of stormy, how do I call it? The ship has been going through turbulent storm, which has not been able to steer. But if not, Mr. Prince Fagbemi is the one who has been trying to stabilize everything. And that is what we are enjoying in the legal profession now. And we have to look at his background. By any standard, Prince Fagbemi is by far one of the top 3 lawyers in this country today. And we are even surprised that somebody like him could accept to serve any president as the Honorable Attorney. And from what I've learned, I learned that he never lobbied for it. So don't let me talk about the NBA administrator or River State issue and Enugu State, because a chief mediator I must not be seen to do that. I must not even be hard. It won't be fair to any of them. Otherwise, none of them will listen to me again. Please, I beg your pardon.
Okay. Let's hope that mediation, alternative dispute resolution will resolve all of this between Rivers State government
it's going to be resolved.
And
this
the
week,
Nigerian Bar Association.
I be rest assured this week.
Okay. But let me ask you about the economy of Nigeria. You have been very kind to Lateef Fagbemi SAN. You have been very kind to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But Nigerians are saying this economy is not working. We had a guest here, and they were saying that
President Tinubu.
but you are pro Tinubu, you are pro administration. From the way you have been sounding.
The defection. It's not whether I may hate or like Tinubu, but I have to be truthful with the law and the constitution. Okay. And that's what I've done.
Okay. How do you think
I have to be truthful?
How do you think the president is handling the economy of Nigeria? Where people have problems with electricity, they say they will give us compressed natural gas. We had a guest who says, no, it's Nollywood audio action. What do you think? Is this economy doing well?
The economy presently is not doing well. I must confess, it is not doing well. There are a lot of sufferings in the land. Our people are not better off today than what they were if under the clueless government that left in 2023. I'm talking about government of President Muhammadu Buhari. That clueless government. Because I don't believe in World Bank or any Brentwood or any all those things or their statistics or data. I don't believe in it. What I do is, how much did I buy bread yesterday? How much is the bread today? How much am I buying Lafun or Elubo Isu in the market? How much was a goat meat being sold? How much is chicken is now 25,000 naira. Before, chicken was 7,400 naira. But having said that, where we are coming from, things were bad, Dr. Abati. Things were bad. All previous governments, up to President Buhari, did not have the courage to take the bull by the horn, to right the wrong we have in this country. It's like how Yoruba will call it, Ati Josan. We are now Awelawangbai. That is, when we were supposed to put things right, we were doing Yala Yolo. Now, we are suffering for it, but we'll get better. Look, let me say this. The money they are sharing now, which some people are saying is 3 times, is 4 times, I'm not even talking about that one. We must commend the chair of the FRS, Dr. Saka Dedeji. The money they are sharing now, 70% of it is being generated by FRS, not NNPC. 70%, not by NNPC. It used to be all money before. Now it is tax money. I only hope and pray that the state governors too. We have levels of government in this country, the local government, the state government, and the federal government. With what they now have, let all of them spend that money sincerely. Even if they must chop out, I know they will chop, because Nigerians, it is unfortunate. It is sad that one is even say it on, but like Chibolage who said, it is not bad for a chef to be eating while cooking in the kitchen, but he must not eat everything, and even the stove and the gas. And the pepper, but our politicians are eating everything. But if this government is sincere, believe me, by next year, this country, we are going to get it right. We are going to get it. They are going to get it right. That's if they are being sincere and they sustain the courage. Yes, there's no, you can't prepare omelette without breaking the egg. There's no gain without pain. I've also accepted to live with that.
Okay, SAN, just one clarification. I'm surprised that a senior advocate of Nigeria will know how much they sell a lubo in the market how much chicken costs in the market. Are you saying that as a senior advocate of Nigeria, you go to the market to go and investigate how much they sell chicken, how much they sell fowl? Or when Madam goes to the market, you look at the list and you memorize?
No, I don't. I heard this. No, I don't look at the list. I heard it regularly. But doctor, the price of all food I say, they are online. They are online. They are all in newspapers. There is no way you won't know. And I'm not in money bag. Look, there is no market. There is no different market for a Muslim or a Christian or Yoruba or Igbo. We all operate or trade or fish in the same pond. That's why I pity those who vote on the basis of ethnicity, religion, tribal, and all other primordial sentiments. Because when the suffering comes, we all share the suffering equally. When out of petroleum prices or PMS, was there a PMS for the PDP at 1,000 naira and one for APC at 100 naira? No. All of us are buying at the same rate. So that's why what we need in this country and what we lack political education. And that's what emphasis will be on. And not of, look, we the masses, we have the power. We are not politicians.
We the masses.
But it is
no, please. You are not one of us. You are not one of us.
We the voters.
No, please.
I am
a senior advocate of Nigeria. You are not one of us.
Okay. Before I leave, I've done my BFM with Arise. Go and check my balance. You'll be surprised. That's what I'm saying. We need political. I'm surprised when at every election, turnout of voter is always less than 25%. Turnout, we are the 75%. Look, but doctors, I'm an added fan, a fanatical fan of Dr. Sikwa Ibarisa. In his LP, Orobo, in 1983, before next election, only Awosoluwa, that is the politician. We are the most powerful. But let's use our thumb and vote out any government that is not working, performing. But I said we have it, but I can sing it too, but for the benefit of our audience who are not Yoruba. Look, you use your tongue, vote them out. Vote party that is, any party. That's why I don't vote on the basis of political party constitution. I voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. My wife and children voted for Peter Obi. During the House of Rep, I voted for Abbas Adebayo, who many of you will say cannot speak English. But believe me, I swear before man and God, Abbas Adebayo is the best parliamentarian we've ever had in my constituency. Ibadan Southeast, Northeast. You would think it's like a state government or local government with what he's doing for us. So what are we talking about? He doesn't speak English. Why can't we even be speak? In fact, National Assembly, you should have the right to speak in your local dialect or even in English. Is English our language? Is English our language? Okay. Somebody is performing, you are now saying he doesn't speak English well.
Okay.
It's a performer. I don't force on partisan basis. I don't do that.
Okay, SN, Section 55 of the 1999 Constitution.
I can hear you, sir.
Section 55 of the 1999 Constitution takes care of that. It says 3 national languages that you can speak. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. Yeah, so if anybody wants to go and speak Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo, and in any parliament, they are welcome under the law. But let me ask you, final question, and it's about law. The FCCPC, the Consumer Protection Commission, is fining, Meta, owners of Facebook, Instagram, and what is it again that they control?
X.
Facebook,
X,
Instagram.
Twitter.
And not Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the third one. They say they are owing Nigeria for breaching privacy laws. And now Meta is saying, look, we'll pull out of Nigeria. And the Consumer Protection Council Commission is saying that, look, that's blackmail. What do you think? Are we blackmailing Meta, Facebook, Instagram,
privacy law,
WhatsApp?
Privacy law. Are they now Look, you can't cry more than you can't weep more than the bereaved. Pricing free love womb. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. Now X. If I complain that my privacy has been breached, if it has been breached, it is personal action. I will take action out against them. And you remember that recently, Dr. Femi Falana filed an action against Facebook when his right of privacy was breached. So what is Botesa Council talking about? Look, some of these agencies are overzealous, believe me, and they try to play to the gallery, apparently to satisfy their appointers or the federal government or their supervising ministry. Otherwise, I don't look at the way people are harassing multi-choice or DSTV. Why will you increase your? Must you watch DSTV? Is DSTV the only television station we have? Is it the only one we have in this country? Now, when it was becoming too, I've moved to another one now, but I won't advertise on your program. SATV, others are there. Look, why can't look at what your station is doing? Look at the other one, owned by the Mr. John Momo. So look, this is a private concern, unless they are doing things that are against our law. How you regulate the price or prices of a private, for example now, a case that a lawyer, a rookie lawyer will charge $1 million for. I can say I will take $100 million. Chief Anipekun ask for $1 billion. It's left now. What I get left?
No,
it's left.
No.
So
no,
if you,
no,
if DSTV is, yes.
No.
Yes.
SN, no. We're talking here about consumer
yes, sir.
protection. We're talking about competition.
I said, this economy we are operating in Nigeria. We are not in a communist country. We are not in a welfareism country. Even you know that section of the constitution we deal with welfareism, social justice, and others. What was the difficulty? This is it's not justiciable. It is not justiciable. You cannot enforce it. If it cannot be enforced, why would they now be enforcing that?
But okay.
Look, I'm saying
in terms of practice, Meta has been called to question in Europe, in India, in South Korea, in the United States.
Over what?
To defend the interests of the consumer and to promote competition. Why should Nigeria be different?
Look, Dr. Bati, until the current chairman of FRS came on board, Meta, even Twitter, all of them were not paying any tax to the federal to the ports of the federal government of Nigeria. And yet, you know, most people don't know. Facebook and all this, including TikTok, they are big business. They are making millions in dollars every day. But now, they are paying taxes heavily to the FRS. Look, but what I'm saying is that, for example, if we are facing security issues in the Northeast, banditry in the Northwest, Northeast, banditry in the Northwest, and also in some next central. But if they are now reporting it incorrectly, if they report something that is not true, and they are trying to portray Nigeria in bad light, the federal government can move against them. In fact, Nigeria can do that, Atonia can do that, Nigeria Air Force can do that, or any, even office of the NSA. But all this breach of right of privacy, I don't know. Believe me. I know that we have class action. But did I give Federal Consumer Protection Commission any consent to file any case on my behalf? My privacy has not been breached by any of them. I use them every day. Even as I'm here, I'm working on Facebook and LinkedIn. My right to privacy has not been breached. Once it is breached, I pray they breach it. And I will now slam a suit. They will tell me to be now. Then I will join people like you who God has blessed a lot. I will leave the masses wing to become a money bag. Look at what Mefana has done. They are negotiating with Alana now. They are negotiating with him. But it is not issue for Nigeria, federal, what do we call them?
Competition and Consumer Protection Commission.
That, except when they are engaging in unfair trading, unfair practice, or what we call antitrust, then you can move in. And see what Trump is doing in US now. Increasing traffic. That's anti-free trade.
Okay.
Do you get my point?
Except that
they do something like that.
Except that
But
the FCCPC is quoting its enabling act of 2018 and is saying that Meta in Nigeria has violated that particular law. So it's about violation of laws, about consumer protection, about privacy.
Let them be specific. Let them come out. Let them come out and tell us specifically which part of the law they breach. And you know, breach of evil crime, we have what we call mens rea and actus.
Actus reus, the
Let
mind
them
to
tell us
commit the crime.
that must be meet of mind. Yes, to come me, yes, yeah, the two must meet. Let them tell. But you see, Nigerian Regulatory Agency, I don't like the way they work. What they do is reactive. They are not proactive.
Okay, thank you
Look
very
at
much.
what happened in. Thank you, Dr. Abbott.
Thank you very much, Mutalabi
I'm always glad
Adebayo,
this may be.
SAN.
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for having me.